His plan was to incapacitate Astrid and Sam as well, if he was home. If not, he would have some fun with Astrid while waiting for Sam. Then, he would tie them up, ball gag them, stuff them in the trunk of the car, and drive them to someplace more private. Someplace where he wouldn't be interrupted for days. She'll start out reasonable, trying to convince me to let them go. I'll let that go on for a while until the fear builds, until she really understands that she is powerless, and then she'll scream. He felt the sharp edge of anticipation as lovely pictures and lovelier sounds played out in his head. This was going to be amazing. This would be the highest moment of his very strange life. I actually feel nervous, but such an excellent nervousness. With a lunge, he threw his weight against the crowbar. The jamb splintered, but the door did not give way until Drake had kicked it several times. When at last it did open, he yelled the line he'd decided on after much consideration. "Honey, I'm home." There she was, right there in front of him. Astrid. The daydream had turned real. After so long, she was right there, right in front of him. A little older, still just as beautiful and cold and disdainful as ever. Astrid, the genius. "You look good, Astrid," he said, and licked his lips outrageously, then laughed out of pure joy. Astrid sat in an easy chair that had been turned to face the door. Just sat there in yoga pants and a cropped spandex top, with her blonde hair spilling down to her shoulders and her icy blue eyes appraising him. Gorgeous, vulnerable, alone, and still with that smug "I'm smarter than you" look in her eyes. "Hello there, Drake," Astrid said. In a flash, Drake knew that something was wrong, very wrong. No one ever, upon seeing Whiphand with his tentacle arm curling in anticipation, said, "Hello there." No one, ever, certainly not Astrid Ellison. But he'd prepared another line, also taken from a movie, and he couldn't think of what else to say. So he said, "Going so soon? I wouldn't hear of it. Why, my little party's just beginning." It was from The Wizard of Oz, a line from The Wicked Witch of the West. Of course, he'd assumed she would bolt. And here she was, just sitting. In fact, she seemed to be calmly flexing her muscles, which were actually kind of impressive for a girl who... Then Astrid stood up, and something was very definitely wrong. Astrid had always been tall for a girl, but she now stood well over 6 feet. And she had been working out. A lot. And taking steroids. A lot. Because even as he stood there gaping, Drake saw her Thor arms still expanding, like someone was inflating them with an air hose. Her thighs were thick as tree trunks, and growing thicker, until the spandex yoga pants threatened to tear. It was all made stranger still by the fact that Astrid's face, the face from so many of his fantasies, remained unchanged, except for the way her whole head seemed to be surrounded by shoulders like boulders. Drake flashed all the way back to his childhood. Astrid reminded him of nothing so much as his old He-Man action figure, but without the boots. "Why, Drake," Astrid said in a mocking voice. "Did you think I would run away?" She leaned toward him. "Are you disappointed? You like when people run, don't you? It's part of the fun, right?" Drake licked his lips, and Brittany muttered, "Heh, heh, heh," like she was fake laughing at a joke. But this was no joke. Astrid was not afraid. Astrid was not afraid. Drake shot a glance at the door behind him, thinking the unthinkable. That maybe he should be the one running. Crazy. Astrid saw the glance and said, "You forgot to shut the door, Drake." She took one step to her right, bent down and grabbed the edge of a solid-looking end table, and, with a mere flick of her wrist, threw it past Drake's head. Bang, slam.